Good evening, everyone. Good day. I hope you can hear me and I hope you can see me, right? I hope you can hear me and I hope you can see me. Hello, everyone. Welcome. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can. I hope you can hear me. I want to make sure that you can hear me.
Good evening, ma. We can hear you.
All right, all right. So, welcome to today's session. This is day 2 of the Rise Summit. Day 2 of the Rise Summit. And I'm so excited that we are here again today. I'm very excited to meet you all. I'm very excited that you all have, decided to also join today. Today, I really love the topics we'll be taking today. So, yesterday, first of all, we spoke about personal development. We discussed personal development and how it's important for personal growth and personal productivity. We were able to understand what personal development means, what personal productivity means, and what personal growth entails. And I'm happy that every one of us learned from that session. And so we also had another speaker who, okay, I was the first speaker, and we also had another speaker who spoke to us on purpose discovery. And we were able to understand how to find out our why, how to find our direction, and every other thing. And very happy. I'm very happy that we are gathered here again. So I know that some of us we are part of yesterday's session. Can someone remind us of what we learned yesterday? Just a brief summary. Was any one of you part of yesterday's session? Okay, trying to. All right, I think we can move on. Okay, so today we'll be handling goal setting, and we'll be having another speaker who will be speaking on personal leadership. And so we all understand how important goal setting is, because it's important we set goals. It's important we have goals that guide our actions, that guide the way we do our things, that guide the steps we take. It is that those goals we set that guide our personal development journey. And personal leadership is equally important because it's not just meant for leaders or people in executive positions or celebrities. No, we need to learn how to lead ourselves, how to discipline ourselves, how to understand ourselves. And another part of that topic is cultivating a growth mindset. We need to know how to cultivate a growth mindset. And so that is why I made sure that the two topics will be treated today. So I'm excited to have you here again. And I think I still have to introduce myself again for some of you because these names are not really familiar. So my name is Peace Uchenna Balama. I'm the convener of this Rise Summit, the founder of Global Youth. So now we'll be having our session on goal setting. I think our speaker is already here. Ma'am Debra is already here with us, and so we'll be taking her session immediately while we wait for others to join us. We'll be taking her session immediately so that we don't keep her. So let me share my screen and read her bio, her profile. Right. So I hope you can see my screen. So, Ghost Strategist Debra Eckerling is the award-winning author of Your Goal Guide and founder of the D.E.B method system of goal setting simplified. As a speaker, consultant, and workshop leader, she offers personal and professional planning, content development, event strategy, and team building for executives and entrepreneurs, consultants, and companies. Debra has spoken on stages for TEDx, Innovation Women, Score ALA, and more, and is the host of Gold Chat Live, aka The Deb Show, and the Taste Buds with Deb podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome today Ma'am Debra Eckerling. We're so
Thank you
happy
so
to have
much.
you.
Welcome you, ma. Welcome you, ma.
I'm usually the screen doesn't show that much of my background. I'm like, okay, is my desk clean? Thank you so much for having me. Everybody can hear me? Yes.
We can actually hear you, ma.
You can't. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma. We can hear you. We can hear you.
Excellent. So I am. Thank you for the beautiful intro and for inviting me here to speak. I am a goal strategist who loves nothing more than goal. Well, a couple things maybe, but I believe you can't get what you want unless you know what that is. So setting the foundation for your goals is key. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to do share my slides, and then if anybody has any questions, we can talk. I'm just fixing this in present mode. Okay, everybody can see the slides and everybody can hear me, yes?
We can see, we can hear you, ma.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. And again, thank you for joining the session. Goals are so important because to get what you want, you need to know what that is. And that really starts by taking the time and the energy and investing in yourself and what you want your future to be. So what do we all want? We want to live fun and healthy lives, right? Productive lives. But we also want to find what I call Goaltopia, which is achieving your goals and living that life you desire. And so how do we get there? We take the time and the energy, and you've all done the first step by being here today, but to set the foundation for the goals. So tell me, and you can tell me in the chat, what is your goal? Why are you here? Are you looking to become a known expert, build a successful business, find a fulfilling career, achieve work-life balance? Usually it's all of the above. And especially at the beginning of your career, as you're evolving into the person you become, it's so important to start with that mission, the who you are and what you are about, because that will help you guide your decisions and help you achieve the life that you desire. He's gave me such a beautiful intro, so I'm not going to go over it again, but like I said before, I'm a goal strategist, workshop leader, and writer. Your goal guide, a roadmap for setting, planning, and achieving your goals. It came out in January 2020 with the intention to help people embrace change by choice or by circumstance. And then 6 weeks later, we all got changed by circumstance. And really, whether you use the word pivot or reframe, or you're just starting from scratch, it really starts by taking the time and energy to create that foundation for your goals, which is what we're going to talk about today. And so the D.E.B method, which is my system of goal setting simplified, is determine your mission, explore your options, brainstorm your path. So I've identified these as the 3 key phases in helping you figure out what you want and make a plan to turn it into reality. So we start by determine your mission, and it goes, that first start is visualization. So when you think about the life you want, what does that look like? What are you building? What are you creating? What are you studying? What career path is what speaks to you, that you love, that you desire? And if you do not have a bio yet, this is the perfect time to write it, because think about it from the aspirational point of view, because whether you're at the beginning or middle of your career, you still have your personal as well as your professional background, any jobs that you've had, coursework. So think about your current bio and what it says about you today. And then you want to write your future bio. So what does your bio say about you 6 months from now, a year from now, in 5 years? And you can write one or all of these options, but the idea is to write it in the third person, but in the present tense. So as if you were reading an article about yourself in the future, or if you were on a top 50 or top 30 under 30 list, what is that bio going to say about who you are and what you are doing to change the world? So and again, it kind of goes back to that visualization. When you think about that life you want, what does that look like? And then take it a step further. So if you are working for a particular company that you've targeted, then take a page from the company website and put your name and your photo on it. If you want to become a best-selling author, take a copy of the New York Times bestseller list or bookstore list or whatever, and do a mock-up of your book cover or the title of the book that you want to write in your name. So whatever it is, that visualization, find a way to make something tangible that you can look at, so you're keeping your eye on the prize. And maybe it is that future bio. You want to be in the top 30 under 30 in a particular area. Write it, put your picture up there, and claim it as if it's already happening, because that's really, almost anything is achievable with the amount of time, education, experience, grit to turn it into reality. So reach for the stars, because you really never know what is possible until you try it and take those steps forward. And once you have your current bio and your future bio, so you've got your where you are now and where you are going, then you want to write a mission statement. And your mission for your business is about what makes you unique, but also in what way that you help others. So it's who you are, plus what you do, what makes you unique, and then how you help others, because the helping others is really the fuel behind everything that you're doing. It will help you get where you want to go because you're doing in service of others. And then you're going to write your motto, which is a short version of that mission statement. So my mission is to use my background, education, and experience to help as many people as possible figure out what they want and how to get it, so they can live a better, more fulfilled life, and help others do the same, right? So your mission statement, long, clunky, which is fine, but that's what the motto is for. The motto is your short, pithy statement, which really brings together everything that you believe in. And the other thing about your motto is it can be a theme song, it could be a title, it can be the tagline from your website. So mine is Goal Setting Simplified, because everything I do and everything I create is with that Goal Setting Simplified theory in mind, because changing your life is challenging enough. The instructions need to be easy. So I made the instructions really easy. So before we move on to brainstorm your path, are there any questions, or does anybody have a motto that they would like to share? What do we think? How are we doing? Good? Does everybody have a motto in mind? And you can always put that in the chat as well. Okay, so we're going to move on to explore your options, because as I said before, to get what you want, you need to know what that is. But the other part of it, you've got this mission, who you are, what you are all about, but now it's time to take steps into turning that mission into goals. So we start with the intent and then create goals to help you achieve that goaltopia, that life that you desire. So, and I love this exercise, directed journaling, because it's not just helpful for exploring your options, but if you are writing your bio, if you're creating your mission statement, if you're trying to figure out what you are all about, this exercise works well for that also. And this is how directed journaling works. You want to schedule 3, 4, or 5 15-minute appointments with yourself, put them in the calendar, and that's another thing is your commitment to your goals. The way you treat appointments with others is the way you need to be treating the appointments with yourself for achieving your goals. You are gifting yourself this time to figure out your path so you can make that life you want a reality. So you want to set 3, 4, 5 15-minute appointments with yourself. And during that time, you're just going to be free writing, and it can be typing, it could be handwritten. And if you're not a fan of either, you can hype it. You could do an audio and then have it transcribed. But the idea is to get everything out of your head and onto the page so you can take a look and see what's there. So during these sessions with yourself, you want to answer a question or series of questions related to a specific theme. So if you're trying to figure out your mission, it's, okay, what is my mission? What do I want to accomplish? What do I stand for? Or what do I love to do? What career do I want to pursue? What kind of job works really well with my gifts, my talents, the things that I love? So you're going to go through, and don't read any of your ramblings until you've done the exercise 3, 4, or 5 times, because then you're going to look at everything all together and find the common themes. Because what happens is you may have thought one path was right for you, but you only mentioned it twice. But something else that you didn't realize that you love so much, you mentioned like 10 or 15 times. So in going through your directed journaling entries, you want to be aware of the things that you talk about a lot, because that's really what you're most drawn to. And when you do what you love, it shows. When you're doing things you don't love, it really, really shows. So when looking at your goals in the big picture and what you're going to pursue, look at the things that you love and at how you best meld your skills, your education with your passions, and see what happens. So go through your ramblings once and then just read them all straight through, and then go again, and then find 3, 4, 5, maybe up to 10 common themes in there, and then narrow it down to maybe 3 to 5 options. And those are the ones you're going to research the possibilities. So let's say whatever is your expertise, you love it, you want to be sharing this knowledge that you love with the world. So what are you going to do? Are you going to write a book? Are you going to create a summit? Are you going to start a podcast? And then go to your network. And I already put my LinkedIn in the chat. And please do that as well. And be sure to connect with me and each other, because you can't reach your goals on your own. You need your people. And as part of this community, it's a great opportunity to be each other's people. So look through your connections and your connectors and see who does the things that you're considering doing. Look to who has experience in writing books. We're all connected with Peace, so we know we have an expert in creating summits in our network as well, or people who are podcasters, whatever it is. Or if you're looking for a job and you're not certain which area you want to go in, or you've got 3 different companies in mind, look to your network and see who's already connected and who could be a connection for you, whether it's an informational interview or an interview for a job, or just to learn more about certain career pursuits. So whatever the options are, whether it's for developing and showcasing your expertise or figuring out your career path, look to what options are, what interests you, and then see who you know can give you information so you can make more informed decisions. So after you've narrowed it down, and I say make a choice, but it's really what is the priority? What's going to be next for you? So you want to settle on, okay, this is my mission, this is my motto, and I am going to pursue it in doing this, in getting a job for another company, in building a business that does something that helps others, in writing a novel, starting a podcast to bring information to others. So that's it. The explore your options phase is education and exploration to figure out your next steps, which brings us to brainstorm your path. And this, it's going to go beyond just this number one main goal. You want to brainstorm all of your goals. You want to look at your professional goals, your personal goals, long-term, short-term. You want some easy goals in there so you get wins right away. But you also want some reach goals. Look to that 5-year plan and what is something that will make you really happy to accomplish in the future. And then divide and conquer. So you want to put all your professional goals together and your personal goals together, and then also divide it by project. So whatever business you are in or showcasing, you're likely going to need a website, right? So what is that, or a blog? What's that going to take to put it together? Well, you need the benchmarks. So let's say the goal is create a website. So the first benchmark is going to be do the technical aspects, get the hosting, get the name, figure out what it is you're going to create. So you want the bare bones of it. So each of those things will be a task. Then you need to do your branding. What are you calling it? What is it going to look like? What are you going to have on there? Is it going to be articles? Is it going to be interviews, news pieces? Are you going to do videos? What are the different pieces of content that you are going to create, and what is it going to look like in the big picture? Figure that out. You've reached another benchmark, and then putting the content together. So whether it's interviewing people or finding news sources or just sharing, maybe it's once a week you are going to write a post related to your expertise so that you can impart that knowledge to others. So all the different tasks make up each benchmark, and accomplishing each benchmark gets you to achieving that goal. And this can work for any kind of project-based plans. Let's say you're moving. Great. What are the different benchmarks to that? Well, first one is figure out where you're going to live. Figure out the area you want to live in, what kind of place you're looking for. And then the second one is research. Okay, where are the different places that you need to go to look, and you put these things in the schedule. So that's all part of the move. Is everything you need to do is go to the different homes or apartments, apply till you achieve the benchmarks of finding a new place to live. And then the whole moving aspect is you have to move yourself and your furniture, but you also need to turn on utilities. So all the different tasks reach to the different benchmarks. So again, whether they're personal goals or project goals, or whether they're professional goals or personal project goals, it works where the tasks make up the benchmarks, which lead to the short-term goals, and they all build to those all-important long-term goals. For lifestyle personal goals, so whether you want to save money or you want to travel or you want more balance, you want to eat healthier, you want a healthier lifestyle, for those, you're going to brainstorm a list, kind of like your goal list. What are all the different things that I need to do to have a healthier lifestyle? I need to cook more, eat out less, work out more. What are the different things that need to get done each week And you can set appointments to make sure you stay on track to achieve these personal goals. Networking goals is another one of those ongoing lifestyle goals. It's a little bit in that business category as well, but you are doing certain tasks once a week, twice a week, several times a week to build out your network, so it will help you achieve your personal and your professional goals. So this is the crux of setting the foundation for any goals. Determine your mission. You can't get what you want unless you know what that is, so you create that intent, that mission, that motto. Explore your options is honing in on how you are going to impact the world, whether it's through a job, a business, your thought leadership, or just being a better person and having a healthier, more balanced life. Brainstorm your path is figuring out what it is you need to do to achieve these goals. So all these little pieces will come into play. And if you go to, and I will put the link in the chat as well, if you go to thedebmethod.com/MMW, you can get my mission and motto worksheet, which will help you start planning all this out. And then you can also pick three long-term and 3 short-term personal goals and 3 long-term and 3 short-term professional goals. So you can start with those and build them out and work towards turning them into reality. Now, I also want to take a few minutes to talk about setting yourself up for success, because the groundwork, it's so important, but you also need to commit to the time and the energy and keeping top in mind these goals to turn them into reality. First thing is to post goals everywhere. Okay, maybe not everywhere, but have them in your office. Maybe take a picture of your goals and keep it as a screenshot on your phone, but put your goals in a couple different places so you're looking at them on a regular basis to keep your eye on the prize. Several years ago, a friend said to me, well, Deb, this is how I do goals, is I make a list at the beginning of the year. I put them in my bottom drawer, and at the end of the year, I look and see if I'm pleasantly surprised if I accomplished any of them. Well, and yes, they said this to me. And I said, do me a favor. After I recovered from the shock, I said, why don't you try next year to write out your goals and actually look at them and see if you accomplish even more? And she got more done that year than in previous years because she was keeping her eye on the prize. So find a place, and it can be private just for you because your goals are for you. Or you can frame them and put them up in your office so you look at them all the time. Whatever it is, just find a good spot for you. Next thing you want to do is embrace to-do lists. So the same thing with brainstorm your goals. So every week at the beginning of the week, write out everything you need to do, whether it's coursework or work for your job or for your side hustle or passion project, whatever it is, write down everything. And again, divide and conquer. I like using a notepad for like the first draft of it, and then I will type it into a calendar meeting or a meeting post on my calendar. So I have it in 2 different places. And then as things get accomplished, you check things off the paper list, or you write done in all caps next to the electronic list. And the reason I say write done rather than erase or scratch it out is because this will help you track everything you're doing, because some goals, they take a while to achieve, but if you are tracking your time and your efforts, then at the end of the week or the month when you're like, oh, I'm not getting there, you can look at everything that you've accomplished and say, okay, I might not be there yet, but I'm making progress. Look at all that I have done. So that's why it's so important to not only embrace to-do lists, but to track everything you're doing. Another way to do it is I keep a win list, which is a Google document, so it's everywhere I am. And every day I write 1 to 3 wins. And that way, whenever you need a boost, you can just take a look at your win list and say, you know what, I'm doing great. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. Yay me. So that's another way to track. The other thing is to schedule. So you've made this to-do list. You've got all of these things that you want to accomplish during the week. So put it in your calendar, and maybe it's a half an hour or an hour a week working towards your passion project, working towards your future. That's fine, but only put in your calendar what you know you can commit to. So the secret is you can move the appointments if you have to, but you can't delete them. So at the beginning of the week, say, oh, I can do 2 half-hour sessions on these 2 days. I'm going to put in the calendar. And then after you accomplish, you can either make a note in that appointment or add it to your win list. So that way you're keeping your efforts in order, which is also going to help you be more productive because you've got a tracking document of where you've sent out all of your resumes, or what companies you've reached out to for work, or where you have pitched your great American novel. You know, everything that you're doing, you want to keep track of the process. So you've got not just for motivation, but because it's important to have the information. The other thing I've got is the 5 of 7 rule. And I know there are a lot of goal setting experts, I use air quotes, who say, you know, don't break the chain, work towards your goals every day. It's great in theory, but for a lot of people who are very busy, it's not realistic. So 5 of 7 rules basically gives you permission to not work towards your goals every day. You can think about them every day, that's encouraged. But if all you're doing is thinking, that's cheating. So work on it, whether it's 5 days a week for 3 days, or it's like a dedicated appointment for an hour or two once a week, that's fine. Just keep moving forward because those little bits of time will add up. And last but not least, certainly, is to create rules and rewards. Give yourself little rewards for little wins, big rewards for big wins. Obviously, the ultimate win is accomplishing your goals, but, you know, treats in the meantime, super important. Other things, though, you can create our rules. It's like, okay, I need to do my hour of goal work a week, or when I do my hour of goal work a week, I get this accomplishment. Or for networking, because so much is online, it used to be you had to go places in person. And at that point, I'd say, okay, 1 event a week in person is fine. But in this digital age, I think 3 networking opportunities a week are more than reasonable. So one of the rules is, you know, to do your 3 networking opportunities a week, 1 being educational, 1 is a mixer, and then the 3rd would be a one-on-one, which would be a virtual or online, virtual or in-person coffee or meeting to get to know someone who you've met at one of the events a little bit better, or for an informational interview about something that is of interest to you. So the rule is 3 networking events a week. The reward is you do it 3 weeks in a row, you take a week off. So figure out what rules are going to motivate you, work for you, so you set yourself up for success and achieve your goals. If you want to learn more, and I'll take questions in a minute, if you want to learn more about the D.E.B method and goal setting simplified, my book is Your Goal Guide, a roadmap for setting, planning, and achieving your goals. And the first half of the book takes you through the D.E.B method in detail with lots of examples. And then the second half is advice for setting yourself up for success. And to please be in touch, because now that we've met, you can email me, info@thedebmethod.com, grab the worksheet at debmethod.com/mmw. Also find me on LinkedIn, and you can follow the D.E.B method on social media for more encouragement and advice. So, at the thank you screen. Thank you so much for having me. Are there any questions? I will take it off of share so we can.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much for the session. I hope you can hear me, right?
I can hear you. I'm trying to stop Can you see me?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay. I can see and hear you too. Thank you for having me. I hope this was helpful. Are there any questions?
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much for being here. I learned a lot from the session, and I'm glad that everyone here also learns a lot. So if you have any questions, please ask. Please. So if you have any questions, please ask. Please ask your questions if you have any questions. You know, goal setting is a very important part of our personal development. And now that you have the opportunity to learn it, we've learned so much. She has shared so much with us. And so ask your questions now that you have the opportunity. Thank you.
Right. Good evening, ma.
Hi.
Good evening. This is Samuel from. This is Samuel. So you talked about setting yourself for success, and I actually don't get the aspect of remember the five of the seven rules. So I don't know if you can actually share more light on that so that I can be clear. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, well, thank you for your question. So the 5 of 7 rule, it's giving you permission to not work all the time because we all need balance in life. So it's saying, let's say you decide you're going to work on your goals 15 minutes every day. And you say, okay, that's a really easy amount of time. I can definitely do that. But what happens when on Sunday you miss, so it's a half an hour on Monday, and then on Tuesday it's 45 minutes. Well, if you did not have 15 minutes on Sunday, you probably don't have an hour on Wednesday. So better to say I can do 15 minutes twice a week and do the amount of time that you commit to. Is that clear?
Yeah, it's well understood, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Does anyone else have any questions? Do we have any questions? You can type in the comment section or you can request to speak.
Do you have any questions, Peace?
Okay. Okay, as we are waiting for them.
Okay. Oh, I see a question in the chat. You can get the book at your favorite place to buy books. It's available on Amazon. So I can put that in the chat. Thank you for asking. And I do have a Facebook group for those who are going through the book for your goal guide. So I can put that info in as well. Thank you for asking.
Okay, does anyone else have questions? Does anyone else have questions regarding this session or anything they may want to ask? So anyway, as we wait for them, Ma, I'm very grateful that you joined us this night. I've looked forward to this session and I must say that I learned so much over here. My notes are filled and you know it's a pleasure having you here. The step-by-step process, how we can set ourselves up for success and the exploring our options. That spoke to me so well. there is no rigid path. We have to sit down and journal and really brainstorm our paths and, look at the options we have before we make the decision on what we have to, on the field we have to go into. And I really love that. I also, learned so much when you were talking about the benchmark and the tasks, how you can arrange them weekly. So I learned a lot over here, and I'm sure the participants also learned a lot. I'm asking, ma'am, is it possible that we can get the slides for your session just so we can share it with them in case they want to refer to it again?
The worksheet at the debmethod.com MMW, that really lines up most of what I talked about. So that takes you through mission and motto in setting the short-term and long-term goals. So I do goal setting simplified. It's the simplest way to get the information. So, and I put that link in the chat as well.
All right. So the link to her book it's already on the chat box, and also the link to the Facebook. So make sure you join the group so that you can be part of our upcoming workshop. Ma'am, I was asking if we can get the slides for today's event, the slides you used in teaching us today, so that we can refer to it later on.
Okay, the information on the worksheet is actually what is mostly in the slides. So I'm. Can you see my screen share? I can't get it to stop.
Please, do we have any questions? This is goal setting class. We should have questions regarding goal setting. Okay, I think Nosimot also has the same question, whether we can get the slides. All right. I think she has already answered that. So please ask your question.
Oh, good. I finally got the screen share going. Okay. Any other questions? Or if you want, if you've got like a motto, something that you live by, you want to share in the chat, that's fun to share as well. What is your motto piece? Do you have one?
Hello, Sekinat. I think you were requesting to speak. Okay. I think, all right. So Faith, you can unmute yourself now. Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so I want to ask if you've set a goal and then your time estimated has elapsed, your deadline has passed, and yet the goal has not been achieved, what do you do to stay motivated in order to achieve this goal? Thank you.
Thank you for your question. That's why I feel like the visualization and the motto is so important to keep you motivated moving forward. If you hit a roadblock, then remind yourself why you set the goal. What is the motivation behind it? How is it going to help you, and how are you going to help others? And sometimes it just that reminder of why you're doing it is going to be helpful enough to keep you moving forward. But like I said, I like the visualization because that way you can see what you're working towards. And also, the other thing that I love about the motto so much is it's almost like a decision tree. So as you're working towards your goals, you're going to have a lot of opportunities come your way. So when the opportunities come your way, it's you want to align it against your motto. Say, okay, is this going to help me move forward? Is this in alignment with my motto? If yes, then yes. If no, then say, okay, it's not in alignment with my motto, but is it of other benefit to me? If yes, then yes. If no, then maybe it's not something that's going to be helpful to you. So you really want to keep in mind your ultimate goal as you're going through this path. And yes, sidetracks are fun and they're of benefit as well. But try to also stay focused so the things that you are spending your time and energy on are going to get you toward accomplishing that goal. Good luck. And good luck to all of you. I mean, the fact that you're here and choosing your goals, that's like the first step in achieving them, is that commitment to goal setting and goal getting.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you for addressing that question. I also learned so much from it. Please, does anyone else have questions before we end this session? All right. I think Nosimot, do you want to speak? You are requesting to speak.
Hello, ma'am.
Right.
Good evening. Thank you so much for the insightful session. My question is that I have goals set aside, like I have goals to achieve. Can you hear me, ma? Hello, can you hear me, ma?
Yeah, I heard only a little bit. Can you repeat?
Can you hear me, ma?
Your question got cut off. If you want to repeat it.
All right, ma'am. I said, although I have goals that I have set aside, that okay, I want to achieve these goals, but at the long run, I end up procrastinating, like procrastination. So most times I don't achieve those goals. Those goals at the end of the day. So what do I do to stop that?
Procrastination is a big problem for a lot of people. And that's, again, it kind of goes back to the 5 of 7 rule I was talking about. Break things down into like the littlest steps possible. So what can you do each day or each week for 15 minutes that's going to get you a little bit closer to achieving the goals? I love using a timer for things like this because you say, okay, I'm going to focus for 15 minutes. I set a timer so I'm not even looking at the clock. And then after 15 minutes, if you're on a roll, you can keep going. But if you're not on a roll, you did your 15 minutes and you got a little bit closer to achieving your goals. So the answer to procrastination is just little increments of time because they will add up. Even 15 minutes a week, once a week, is better than none? Thank you for the question. It was a good one. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much, Ma.
All right. Thank you so much, Ma, for joining us today. We got so much insight from your session, and we really appreciate your presence today. Thank you so much. I'm glad they learned a lot, and from their questions, it showed that they were following through with this session. So we are super grateful that you joined us today. So thank you so much, Ma. We look forward to seeing you again. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, and I will stop by the chat later. So if anybody has any other questions, just ask away or reach out. And good luck, and thank you again for inviting me to be here to present to your group. It was great to meet you.
Thank you. All right. All right. I hope we learned so much from that session. I hope we are still here and